Welcome back, folks. It's another wonderful Sunday here with TEW 2020 B Shooter here for WCW Lives 2001. We are here now in June, week 1 of 2002. Just to give you a quick little opening here, the beginning of this month, TNA, Ring of Honor, and MLW Major League Wrestling all opened. So this world is about to get very interesting here in 2002 in game. Um, I think a lot of guys are going to be signing, which is going to be great. It starts bringing more talent to the world, I guess. So I'll keep you guys updated on what kind of happens there, and if you guys want updates, obviously I will do my best to give you TNA, Ring of Honor, and MLW updates. Also, just want to thank everybody for all the amazing support so far. We're still a little bit away from our goal of subscribers of 100, so if you're new, make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. If you are enjoying the content, please like and comment if you do have some ideas or just some opinions. We got to play that YouTube algorithm, so the more you engage, the more we can keep bringing these videos out. So it's up to you guys, but again, I just want to thank you guys for all the help so far. Now let's get to the show. I think I've done enough talking with that. We're in Extracto Event Center in the Mid-South region in front of 7,700 people, just about 7,800. And we're opening the show with a recap of last week where we saw the returning Lance Storm win the Battle Royal to become the #1 contender for the WCW United States Championship. It showcases who the other final participants were, which was Mark Jindrak and Mike Awesome. 68 overall in the segment. The U.S. titles advanced and lost heat. Militia advanced. Guido improvised well. He was, I guess he might put him as acting or charisma, but Lance Storm is back. He was out for a while. Unfortunately, his injury was not the length of time that he was out, but I didn't really have a way to introduce him back into the fold without it being cheesy. So we brought him back this way. And I think this is a nice way to just put him right back into the fire, I guess. And him and Guido are now on a collision course, so looking forward to that. Lance Storm is a babyface, which is kind of weird, but if you've watched my videos from 2001, you'll understand why he's a babyface. 68 overall segment, like I said. Lance Storm comes down to the ring, does his whole shtick where he says if he can be serious for a second, and he thanks everyone for the continued support and was happy to surprise the WCW faithful and return last week to not only just to competition but to become the #1 contender for the US Championship. He says he's been gone for far too long and he's ready to make an impact and start winning some gold. He gets interrupted as soon as he says that by the Militia led by the Guido, who is the US champion, and they are saying that that they thought Lance Storm was dead and that he was gone from World Championship Wrestling, but it doesn't matter because Guido does not lose to anybody here and that he is going to hold on to the US Championship forever. 71 segment rating. The US title storyline has advanced. The tag title storyline has advanced because the tag champions are the Militia. And the Militia storyline advanced, and Guido improvised well with a 71 promo. We opened the show with a great promo here. No complaints whatsoever, but the promo's not done. Lance Storm then says that next week he's moving up his U.S. Championship match and he wants to challenge him in the main event for the U.S. title next week. I don't know why Nash and Hall are in this picture, but U.S. title main event next week, I think it's the right move. We're really doing a good job, and I know you might say this after this show, but each championship is feeling important. The WCW Championship doesn't always have to be the main event on Nitro, so we're really trying to showcase as much talent as possible, and that's what we're doing here. The U.S. title storyline has advanced, the tag title storyline has advanced, Militia storyline has advanced, and the Outsiders feud storyline has advanced and gained heat. Guido improvised well like he always does, 72 overall rating. Alright, and then here's where the Outsiders come out. And they say they have their rematch clause, and they're using it tonight in the main event against the Militia. They said they were going to do it at the Great American Bash, but they decided that they did not want to wait. It is happening in the main event tonight. The U.S. title storyline has advanced, tag titles advanced, Militia lost heat, and the Outsiders feud advanced. 67 overall segment. And just this segment, this whole promo, we have our main events for this Nitro and the next one now. So starting to really find my groove big time here. So we're doing great. In our opening contest of the show, in a decent match, Lance Storm defeats Berlyn in 10:25 by pinfall when Rob Van Dam helps Lance Storm pick up the victory after attacking Berlyn. Lance Storm a 73, Berlyn a 53. All the storylines advanced. Lance Storm and Berlyn have great chemistry. The announcing quality to the match, and the match got the crowd hotter with a 65 rating. Great stuff here. Lance Storm wins his first singles match back in competition. Berlyn has a very nice showing. We keep him and RVD still going. RVD still's got some problems there. And they have great chemistry. So I have no complaints at all with this match. I wish the rating was in the 70s, but beggars can't be choosers. Great win out of Lance Storm. Backstage, obviously last week we turned Kidman heel as he broke up with Tori, and he walks into Bischoff's office, says he demands a match tonight to prove that he is not a loser. Bischoff says, okay, I guess you can have your match. So Kidman is going to be in one-on-one action tonight. 69 rating segment here. Not much to say here. This is just kind of continuing Kidman's heel turn more. Not much else to really tackle with that. In a decent match, the Steiner brothers defeat those Southern boys in 8:02 when Scott Steiner pins Kid Cash with a complete shot. Scott Steiner carries the match in in-ring performance. Rick Steiner a 55, Scott a 79, Noble a 58, Kid Cash a 55. Steiner brothers obviously have great chemistry, and the match got the crowd hotter. 67 segment. Again, we want to feature our tag team division as much as we possibly can. Steiner brothers are a very big part of that, and so is those Southern boys in a lesser extent. So good match here out of both teams. No complaints here. Eric Bischoff cuts an in-ring promo as he's talking about the future of World Championship Wrestling now that we're past the year and where we're going forward. As he's continuing some announcements, Chavo Guerrero makes his return and interrupts and says that he is so sick and tired of Eric Bischoff. He's the reason that Chavo had to get his head shaved. He's the reason that Chavo lost the TV championship. And he's the reason for what's about to happen next. In the next segment here, Brian Clark, former member of Chronic, hits the ring from behind Bischoff and beats him down, hitting Bischoff with two vicious power bombs, and then Chavo Guerrero hits a frog splash off the top rope. Clearly Bischoff is being written off WCW television here. This is kind of the blow off to Chavo and Bischoff's feud that was kind of going on. Just changing his gimmick here. Perfect. So Brian Clark is now just a bodyguard for Chavo, which I think makes sense going forward. But we are writing Bischoff off. He signed a deal, which I thought I had him exclusively, but I guess I didn't. So that's on me. He has signed a deal with OVW to be their booker, which is WWE's developmental. So I felt that was wrong to have him in World Championship Wrestling anymore. So we're letting him go. And we will be going forward with some new plans and some new ideas going forward. And I hope you guys enjoy that. I've been kind of going back and forth on what we will do. But you'll see some stuff coming in the next couple Nitros here that will give you some answers. So Chavo Guerrero obviously gets the last laugh here. He has a new bodyguard. See what kind of happens from there. And Bischoff has been written off. So, and about the head, decent reaction from the crowd, but terrible wrestling. Ken Shamrock defeats Frankie Kazarian in 7:58 by submission with an ankle lock. Ken Shamrock at 35, Frankie at 44. Rhino and Kazarian started in advance but lost heat. Don't click at all. Announcing quality to the match, and the color commentary gave the match a boost. 43 segment. I don't want to say that Ken Shamrock has been a huge letdown so far, but he has. He has just been awful so far, and I'm very disappointed. I wish he was going to be better. Yeah. So Kazarian eats a loss here, but it does keep him and Rhino's feud going because Rhino helped Shamrock win. 43 segment. I don't want to talk about this anymore. It's going to make me angry. Post-match, though, as Rhino and Shamrock are beating down Kazarian, Diamond Dallas Page hits the ring as the other two bail as he makes the save for Kazarian. Kazarian and Rhino storyline has advanced, and the Most Dangerous Man storyline has advanced. 70 overall segment. We're going to try and see if DDP can get a good match out of Shamrock. Well, God, I hope so. Um, and we'll see kind of what goes on with these, because it looks like Diamond Dallas Page is going to be feuding with Shamrock going forward, and Rhino and Kazarian will be finishing their program up shortly as well. 70 segment for the save. We get a backstage promo from the Hurricane saying that Buff Bagwell attacked him last week when he wasn't looking, and that's fine. That's Buff's thing. He said when he was coming back that he was gonna bring justice to World Championship Wrestling, and there's two things in the world that you don't do: you don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't mess with the Hurricane. As he walks off like the superhero that he is. 54 segment. Storm has advanced but lost heat. The Hurricane improvised well. And about to head good heat in decent wrestling. The Hurricane defeats Buff Bagwell on 13:25 by pinfall with a quick roll-up. Buff Bagwell 56, the Hurricane with a 56. Buff storyline has advanced but lost heat. The announcing quality lifted the match. Buff and Don are a good pairing. 56 overall in the rating. 56 is everywhere here. This feud will be ending at the Great American Bash. But Hurricane was able to sneak a nice little quick roll-up here. We gave these guys plenty of time to have a good match. I was hoping for a better rating, but I think they did their purpose here. We get a backstage promo from Chris Kanyon saying he feels that Sting just keeps getting in the way of his business. He's bothered him in the U.S. title. He's interrupted promos. This time, Chris Kanyon is going to take the fight to Sting, so Sting can't just drop down or turn the lights off and attack him. He's bringing the fight to Sting. 72 overall segment there. Storyline has advanced and gained heat. And a good match. Rob Van Dam defeat Billy Kidman in 9:58 by pinfall with a split-legged moonsault. Kidman at 49, RVD at 87. I screwed up because Tori Wilson's still his manager in the game. That's my fault. Stupidity on my part. 74 overall segment. Rob Van Dam gets a nice win here. Kidman gets featured in a good match. No complaints, minus the fact that I'm an idiot and didn't take Tori Wilson off the roster. 74 segment. Good stuff out of both men. This was a high-flying match, so I'm sure this was a good match. Post-match, Berlyn hits the ring as him and RVD are brawling around ringside until security has to come break it up. These two guys obviously are in a very heated situation, as Berlyn is the reason that RVD is not the U.S. champion. So storyline has advanced with the Militia and gained heat with a 72 segment. We get an in-ring promo from James Mitchell, Abyss, Vampire Warrior, and Vampiro about attacking Mysterio, and that Abyss is going to take the WCW Championship from Mysterio at the Great American Bash. That Rey Mysterio's 5'7" stature has no chance against his monster at 6'8", 400 pounds. Mitchell improvised well through the segment. 72 overall segment overall with that. Mysterio interrupts and accepts Abyss's challenge for the Great American Bash, and that he's been looked at as an underdog his whole career. This will be no different against the monster. He says that he has been a fighting WCW champion, and he takes all comers, whether they are a monster per se or anyone else. So he is not worried about facing the monster Abyss at the Great American Bash, as James Mitchell has that sinister smile as the segment ends. 67 overall, and James Mitchell clearly improvised well, and the storyline advanced. So we have our main event for the Great American Bash officially locked down. Backstage, we got the Dynasty. Double J's demanding that they be better after multiple weeks now of failures by Dustin and BG James. Jeff Jarrett's obviously pissed about the whole situation. Says that we were supposed to come together and dominate World Championship Wrestling, and we're not. And something's got to change. 67 segment on that. In a superb match, Mike Awesome defeats Dustin Rhodes by pinfall in 10:07 with an awesome bomb. Dustin Rhodes is 70, Mike Awesome at 87. Dynasty storyline has advanced. Dustin Rhodes foreshadowed a face turn. Dustin Rhodes and Mike Awesome have great chemistry, and Mike Awesome benefited from a hot new move. 81 overall segment. Wow. Great match out of these guys here. No complaints whatsoever. Obviously, as you read there, Dustin Rhodes is going to be turning babyface on the Dynasty soon. But I think you'll enjoy how we get there. Mike Awesome picks up another amazing victory, so no complaints here. 81 overall match. And in our main event of the evening for the WCW Tag Team Championships, The Outsiders defeat the Militia in 1323 when Scott Hall pinned Super Crazy with an Outsiders edge. The Outsiders win the WCW Tag Team titles. Scott Hall is 60, Kevin Nash is 75, Super Crazy is 65, Ray Gonzalez is 61. Tag titles have advanced, Militia advanced, and the Outsiders feud is advanced. 71 overall segment. Okay, so I screwed up here. The whole point of this match was supposed to be a DQ. Scott Hall wouldn't take it. So, what we're doing is, this is going to be a thing for a second. Just go with me on this. It's not going to hurt the Militia at all. But the Outsiders are the tag team champions again. For now. Till then, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think you guys are going to love what's going to happen at the Great American Bash. I need you all to do at least 10 likes on this video so we can get this next one up next Sunday, so we can get to that pay-per-view faster. If you guys have any ideas, comments, concerns, anything you can help me with the show, please comment them below. Helps us out a lot. When you like the video, it helps us out a lot as well. Shows you guys enjoy the content. We're still pushing for the 100 subscribers. Last I checked, I think we were like 6 away, so I need you guys share this as much as possible, get this out there. And then until then, I guess we'll see you next Sunday for another WCW Monday Nitro. But hold on, I almost messed up. Let's see what the show rating was. 72. We increased our popularity in 10 regions. Okay, cool. So now that I've done my whole conclusion before I screwed up and got to this part, just want to thank everybody again for all the support, and we will see you guys next weekend.